I had to put the Nick Curley on pause because I feel the feel to continue to talk about time. So I'm going to talk about time with the respect that are you going to go backwards? You're going to go backwards. You always let someone else go before you. That's just the way that things work. It might be the passiveness of my house placements, 12th house Pisces, but we'll move on because time. So in a previous video, I had spoken about time with the regard that before I saw it as like this constraint, like, oh, this essay is due on that day. Oh, you have 5 minutes to do this many jumping jacks. Oh, the deadline to apply for this and do that is on that day. And what any of this means and why it matters is because I figured that at some point my, like, you know, you want to have like a timeline for things. Like, oh, I want to, like right now, I want to move out by so-and-so date. Essentially, what I'm feeling is like, I have to essentially put a date down. And then everything I'm doing for myself is essentially going to harbor in everything necessary for that to happen, is the vibe I'm getting. And that is essentially all I understand right now. And the reason I'm looking at it and feeling it out to be that way is because that's just what makes sense to me right now. Like that's literally what came out of my mouth. And it just feels easy. Because it was easy for me to say. So that sounds like a good opportunity that I can have in the future. And so that, in essence, allows me to feel positive emotions, expectations, allows me to feel eager to move out, because that then would imply various things. Because along with moving out, that would imply things like having a new car that I could pay for. That involves things with having a new wardrobe that I get to go and fill up and fill out. And so half of me is sitting here, and like I have to admit this. There's a part of me sitting here who, using the previous version of who I was, would be like, oh, like let's just say like right now, today is what, the 3rd? 2nd. Today is the 3rd of March, 2025. Let's just say, hypothetically, well, 3 months from today, so it's all of March, April, May. Let's just say, hypothetically, by August, that my new version of myself is going to positively expect and is eager to work towards a new house. Oh, but to drive to my new house, I get to have a new car. I get to have a truck. So right now, I'm in the opposite of a truck. I'm in a sedan of it. Simple as that. And along with that, I get to also choose where and what state. I get to also choose what I get to do on that land, that house, that home. All of these things, right? And so when I sit here, I think like, okay, I'm saying all these things out loud. Now, what it also feels like is that I get to honor that person that I once was. I get to honor that person that was scared and always worried about a deadline, a timeline, a date, a time. I get to honor the gift that I've given myself I get to honor the richness of my thoughts. They get to be properly used, and I get to feel at home with myself. I get to feel what it's like walking into that place and shaking that hand and grabbing those keys and turning a knob. I get to feel what it's like being here in essentially what is heaven, and then essentially growing into what it's like quite literally being myself, and investing more and more time and more energy into essentially what is overflowing. And all that with time. And so using the new tool belt, the new version of myself that I am, I get to go into that unknown space, because it's completely unknown to me what any of that stuff feels like. Because essentially the way I look at it is, anytime I do something and it's calculated, it works in my favor every time. So this is essentially me sitting here saying, like, yeah, it makes sense for me to just essentially jump into the giant pit of fire, knowing that I don't have to worry about being worried. I don't have to worry about feeling guilty. I don't have to feel scared. And because I often have found myself being really good at just doing things that I do, as long as I'm the one doing it. Because again, the job is best done when you do it yourself. Then I get to experience the greatness that is on the other side of effort. Aligned action. And so that root-based zero that I get to put myself into is a reflection of the root-based zero that I've always had. But then there's also a reflection of myself. Like, everything that I find to be happy and worth it, everything that I know to be joyful and worth my time, everything that I know happiness to be, it's what I choose to receive. And I know that time is outside of these things. But what I also do know too is I'm starting again. So the reason why any of this matters, and why I'm even listening to myself, is because A, this is the first time I've ever thought like this. B, these are realizations that I'm making in real time. And C, I'm able to trust the fact that this is exactly what is meant for me, is the things and the places, all of the nouns that are involved with living my best life. So I have, looking at my wrist like I have a watch. I do have gold on my body. I guess I'll round it off by saying this. I have time on my side. Because time has been favorable to me for the past 6 years. Actually, time has been favorable to me. I'm going to turn 25 this year. For the last 24 years. That's how favorable time has been. So I'm going to run with it. Mr. Ground holds me up. Mother Nature essentially is healing me. And Father Time has been a teacher. So I get to at some point I get to feel what it's like having a missus then, because that's gonna happen to me. So I get to choose my missus. I'm driving on Mr. Ground right now, Mr. Undefeated. Mother Nature is the giver. So now I get to interact with Father Time. I'm just now thinking to myself, when your children watch this, what are they going to think and what are they going to say? What would my message be to my children that I get to share with them? My message to you is everything I'm learning is something that you get to be taught so that your root base zero at your age is different than my root base zero that was at my age. And the reason that my children should care about any of this is that they are the lucky ones that get to receive the benefits, the results, the progress that comes with me putting in effort. I'm doing it for myself because when I'm 52 years old, I get to offer my children, my family, people younger than me, something that I'm currently providing myself. And having had been through this experience, I know what it's like. So having someone that can be approached, spoken to, and have the best intentions be met, heard, and understood is something that I know this world could really enjoy. But again, I'm doing this for myself because I have to be everything to offer somebody something. Because if I offer, and this is what I've already done, is to offer someone everything, you have to be something. So you might as well just be everything. So you can offer something. Wow. Speaking. I just love doing it. Take care. All the best.